with the
Okay.
score slides.
Go for it.
Possibly people have seen these before. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our webinar on marketing in the digital world. We're really excited about that topic and I hope you'll enjoy it. But first, a little commercial for SCORE. If I can get my slides started. Let me mention that you will receive a copy of the slides and a link to the recording, so you don't have to take notes. You can just listen and pay attention. If you like the program, I have put the link to the review in our chat box. We'd love to have you give us a review, and you will also be getting a survey usually the day after the webinar. And if you would take a few minutes to respond to that and let us know if there's something that we could be doing differently or better, that would make your experience a better one. We would certainly appreciate your mentioning that. So SCORE's mission is to foster vibrant small business communities. And we do this through mentoring and education. And we hope that you, as a small business owner, get all of the resources that you need to be successful as that small business owner. We know that small businesses, particularly in Cleveland, are important to our economy. And we work very hard to make sure that we are helping to create jobs and support small businesses. So, what is SCORE? We are the largest network of free volunteer small business mentors in the nation. So no matter what the stage of your business is, whether you're starting out or you've been working for a while and need help with operations, or you're thinking about winding down your business, we are here to help you with that. We have people from all over, all types of entrepreneurs. I'm pleased to report that more than half of our clients are women, and about 10% are veterans. So these are some statistics you can zoom through quickly. We've helped to start a number of new businesses and create jobs. So we're pleased to be able to contribute again to the Cleveland economy. And these are the types of services that we provide. We right now are still doing mainly remote mentoring, but we are doing some in-person mentoring, and that will be increasing, I think, in the future. Of course, we're doing a lot of webinars, and we hope that you will attend all of those that you think are relevant for you. One of our best kept secrets is our website, which is our resource portal. And if you go to our website, you will find all kinds of tools and templates that will help you in your business. There are templates for business plans, marketing plans, finance. There's also a list of all of the live webinars that are going to be occurring in the next month or so. And you'll also find a very large number of recorded webinars. So go and take a look at it. There are also articles, blogs, and other types of information that can help you in your business. So go and take a look at it. We're able to provide all of our services at no charge because we have funding from the Small Business Administration. And we also have quite a few sponsors in the Cleveland area who help support the work that we do. This is our website. If you go to our website and click on the Find a Mentor, you can sign up, and we will try to find a mentor who matches your industry. If we can't find someone in Cleveland, we have access to 10,000 other volunteers across the country, and we'll be sure to be able to find somebody who understands your industry. As I said, you can take a workshop or browse a library. So with that, I am going to stop sharing and introduce Laura Gibbons, who is Vice President and Senior Business Consultant for Minority Affairs at Chase Bank, or actually it's JP Morgan Chase and Company. So we're delighted that she's with us today. She's going to be talking about marketing in a digital world, which is the environment we are all living in today. And the more we know about it, the better we will be able to respond. So Laura, it's yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I'm going to start by saying that I have been sick all week. So I have my halls ready to go and water handy. So if I get into any coughing, I apologize, but I will do my best to not have that happen. So I'm going to have some questions too as we kind of go through. So, feel free to kind of add some things to the chat. So we can kind of make it a little bit interactive since we obviously are here, via Zoom. As mentioned, my name is Laura Gibbons. I am a senior business consultant at Chase. What that means is I actually run our minority entrepreneur mentorship program here in the Cleveland market, Northeast Ohio, I should say. And why we love to partner with SCORE is I think that we really have a lot of the same, align with the same missions, right? Is to provide, education to the small business owners in the community and really help in any way that we can. So I appreciate the partnership so much. Like that was mentioned, we will get you out the deck of this presentation, and then you do have a workbook as well. We'll talk through the workbook as we kind of go through the presentation, but don't freak out if you don't have it open. It's totally fine. This is something you can go back to after and really take some time to do some of the activities that I think will be really helpful as you kind of continue to grow your business. Okay, so let's jump right in. And we needed to move forward. So let's see here. All right. So e-commerce sales are projected to rise to 20% by 2024. So that's really an increase of about 30% in just 3 years. So this is a time of transformation. How we shop and who people want to do business with is changing. Okay. So apps and websites are helping customers and businesses find each other, right? So in today's sessions, we'll help expand your digital marketing skills so that you can take full advantage of today's opportunities. Okay. And here's where I kind of like to start, even with my first poll. So even if you just want to put a yes or no into the chat, have you increased your online business since March of 2020? Yes. Seeing a lot of yeses in the chat. Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah, of course, right? So you had to stay flexible, right? You had to see what was working. We kind of all had to pivot, right? Because that's the way that things kind of transformed. So some things that we'll kind of cover today, okay, is your unique business. Okay, a brief discussion of branding and marketing strategy, where your customers are. Right. So knowledge and insights on the top 3 marketing channels for most businesses. So we got website, social media, and email. Okay. We'll maximize your online spaces. So thoughts about how content can help build momentum across online spaces, analyzing and adjusting. So how to look at information, data to make decisions and adjust your approach. And then really kind of managing your own digital spaces. Right. So let's talk about branding. Okay. Every business has its own flavor, okay? Effective marketers embrace that uniqueness and cultivate it through their branding and marketing strategy, okay? Everything people think and feel about your business is your brand, right? So think about your brand, what your brand is today and what it can be in the future. So is your brand working for you? What are you known for? What can you do to build up or change perception, okay? Your digital marketing depends on having a solid brand to build on. Okay. So every brand is a story, right? Successful brands resonate with the values and hopes of your customers. So think about the stories you love. Okay. A character wants something. They go on a quest or a journey. They make progress and experience turning points and setbacks. Eventually they triumph. So what if you thought of your brand as sort of a character, right? If your business is small enough, maybe you're the character, right? What journey are you on and what is your business on? Right. So tell this story in everything that you do in your business. So brand story can seem abstract when people think about how to apply it, but there are at least two basic ways a brand story can be useful. So a business can write a web page, create a video, or in some other way tell the story of how the business was founded, the values behind the business, and how you meet your customers' needs. A brand story is a way to kind of check the decisions, right? You can ask yourself, does this make sense with my brand story? Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to point you to, which if you don't, like I said, if you don't have it up, it's not a big deal. In your workbook, there is kind of a chart that talks about a distinct personality for your brand. Okay. So when you go and you look back, you can start thinking about like, what do I want my brand to really look like? Is it a classic look? Is it youthful? Is it serious, playful, abstract, futuristic, nostalgic? There's all kinds of personalities that you can kind of, attach to your brand so that you can kind of keep that flow as you continue to go forward. Okay. So something to kind of look back into when you have time to go back into that workbook. So another presentation that we give is called Your Next Level Business. And it talks about kind of building a foundation that lasts. So I kind of put the link in here because I think sometimes it's important to maybe go back and do, what is your purpose, your mission, and your value statements. And that sometimes can really help you to kind of get to that brand part a little bit easier if you haven't done that part first. Okay. So, and like I said, this will be in the presentation, so you can easily get back to that page if you need to. Okay. All right. So the 7 P's represent considerations for marketing strategy. All right. So first we've got product, right? So solve a problem for customers. Price, find a price that balances profit and demand. Promotion, right? Get creative to get your products noticed. Place, where your business or product is located matters a lot, right? Is it online? Is it brick and mortar? Is it on different store shelves? The people, right? Outstanding customer service and real relationships matter. I cannot stress that enough. Process, get your product out there quickly and efficiently. And then physical appearance is really important, right? Your packaging, the lighting, smells, every detail truly does matter. Okay. So when you get into your workbook and you look on page 8 or 9, there's this thing called an empathy map. And people are always like, oh, this is really interesting. But an empathy map is where you can answer questions to better understand your top customers, right? So who is your customer, right? What do they need to do? What do they see? What do they like to do? What do they say? What do they hear from others? What do they think and feel, right? We have to be able to put ourselves in the minds of our customers to truly be able to, understand how we kind of continue to reach them, right? So in the chat, really quick, out of everything that I just kind of covered, what do you think is your number one priority for strengthening your brand? Is it your story? Is it the 7 P's? Is it maybe doing an empathy map to try to connect better with your clients? Or maybe you need a better personality for your brand? Is there any one of those things that kind of maybe sticks out to you a little bit? Yeah, that's a great one, right? Getting through to different generations. And you know what? We're going to talk about something as we go forward that's actually going to be really insightful, I think, when we talk about different social media platforms and where you can actually reach the people that you're trying to get to. And like, where are they, right? Because we get so comfortable in our own social media habits, but we got to really figure out where our clients are. Okay, so that was absolutely fantastic, and we'll get there. All right, so here we go. Where are your customers? Okay, so think of your website as the center of your digital marketing strategy. All right, social media, emails, promotional texts. It can all point back to your website as the central place to find information. Make an appointment or even buy your product, right? So why is your website so important? Why not point people to your Facebook page, right? Here's an interesting statistic. I mean, this is insane, right? 5.6 billion times per day people search Google. Per day. That's insane. I mean, if you think about anytime you don't know something, what do you say, right? You go, or where do you go? You ask Google, right? So if that's the first place that people are going, and then they find your website right through a search on Google, they don't need to log in anywhere. They don't have to jump over to another app. They're right there, right? So really, really important to be visible on Google. So then it takes you another step further as you're really kind of directing people to your website is what does a professionally designed website actually need? So let's look at how you can build a website that delivers what your customers actually need. Okay. Couple of key things, right? A value proposition. If you've ever heard this before. This is so important in jobs that you have, businesses, website. Right away, let your customers know what you're about and how you'll serve them, right? Address, contact information, hours, right? It's critical that customers know when and how to find your business, right? Up-to-date information. People might think you've gone out of business if you don't keep your website up to date. I had somebody tell me once that they put so much content on social media that they disappeared for like 2 days, and people were emailing like, are you out of business? I mean, that's crazy that it's that intense. But if you think about the way that social media and content works now, people, if they see from you all the time and then they don't, it starts to freak them out a little bit. So streamline navigation, right? Help your customers find what they need quickly with navigation headers that make sense, and information about you. So tell your customers a little bit about who you are and why this business matters to you, right? I mean, mobile friendliness, that is so, so important. More than half of web searches happen on a phone or a tablet, right? So make sure your website looks good and it's easy to use on those devices as well. Accessibility compliance, right? A business can be sued if a website is not compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. So make sure your website is for everyone by following W3C's international accessibility standards. And you can find that in the link in your workbook as well. Images of people, right? We all like to look at people, show photos of people who are part of your target audience, right? That's really important. Testimonials, right? We're more likely to trust a business if someone has vouched for it, right? I used to always talk about reviews. I mean, how many people buy things that don't have reviews? Not many, right? So ask a loyal customer if you can include their comments, right? Shoppable experience. So whether you sell a product or service, make sure it is easy to see what you offer and how to take the next step. All right. Okay. So in your book on page 12, really, really helpful tool. This is, to create your website, you're going to need software. Okay. And there are a lot of low cost, easy to use services for your business. So within this page on the workbook, it's really going to kind of detail some of those, give you kind of a brief description of each, but then you can kind of take it to the next level and go to Google and, type each one in and find a little bit more out about each one and maybe which one will fit your business the best. Okay. Hopefully that'll be helpful for you. All right. So you can't be on every social media platform. So this is kind of what I was talking about before. What's important is that you are where your customers are. Okay. So let's take a quick little poll here. Which social media platform does your business currently use? Which one's kind of your, and if you use multiples, I get it, but what are you really truly is kind of your go-to? Go ahead and put that in the chat. Instagram. Facebook. Okay. LinkedIn and Instagram. Love LinkedIn. Facebook. Okay. Twitter. Okay. Good. All right. So ask yourself questions to understand the strategic advantages of different social media platforms. Okay. So what do your customers do online? Okay. What reinforces your brand image? Which platform can help you meet your business goals? What gets people excited? What platforms are your competitors on? I constantly talk about competitors. Competitors are the best tool to be able to learn so many things about your customers, pricing, marketing. This one also specifically, right? What platforms are your competitors on? How much time will each platform require? And what will be fun for you? Okay. Don't fall in love with one platform, right? Change along with your customers. I mean, you think about how fast different platforms change. We get so comfortable on one, and then we don't want to switch over because we're like, I don't know how to do anything. I'm not sure like how people see stuff. I'm afraid I'm going to post something wrong. You have to learn how to adjust to the ever-changing digital world that we live in to be able to reach customers, right? Otherwise, we'd still all be on MySpace. If anybody, I just aged myself with that one. Okay. All right. So not sure how the social media platforms are different. Review each question and select the answers that most closely match your needs. So I'm in your book, page 15. I think this is the absolute most amazing chart you will ever see. Okay. It's going to go through each social media platform. It's going to tell you who uses it. What do people come here for? What performs best? What are the limitations? How often per week should you post? How can you build an audience? If you are unfamiliar with different platforms, you're not quite sure, this is where you're going to find the answer to maybe kind of just put things into perspective for you a little bit, so that you can kind of make a more educated decision on it. Okay. All right. So getting on the right platforms is a good start. Now let's talk about how to use social media to grow your business. Okay. You have to create a calendar, right? This will help you make sure you keep putting out content and can help you time your posts to support your business goals. Everybody gets busy, right? You're going to think, okay, yeah, I just posted that. Oh, wait, that was 2 weeks ago, right? That's too long, right? So make sure that you're making a calendar so that you're effectively keeping content out there. All right. Experiment with timing and frequency, right? Are your customers up all night? They check their phones at lunchtime? Are they local or in every time zone? By switching up the timing of your posts and checking engagement numbers, you might see useful patterns. All right. Be yourself, right? Cut the corporate language. People want to follow business leaders who are insightful and relatable. Can't stress that enough. Amplify community, right? Shout outs to your neighbors, partners, community groups, and others can build goodwill and increase your followers. Give more than you take. All right. You can't always be selling or people unfollow you, right? Or mute you. Instead, focus on what you can do for your followers, right? Ask customers to follow you on social media. The bigger your follower base, the further your content can reach, right? You'll be surprised how many customers will gladly follow your business. Okay. And be memorable, right? Feeds move fast. Give people a good reason to recognize your business. Really important. All right. This is always a question that comes up. Should you pay for social media impressions? I was just having this conversation earlier today, right? When social media kind of first became a thing, you could post things, everybody would see it. All of a sudden, somebody would like it or share it, and it would pop up to the top of the feed again. Well, now, of course, they've gotten, smart on that. And it's like, well, wait a minute, we should be taking advantage of this, right? So now there's people out there where, you could pay $7 a month and they'll, post content for you and all those kinds of things. I can't really say anything negative about it quite yet because I know a lot of people that have used it. And I will say I follow them on Instagram and I do see a lot more posts than I was seeing them do themselves. So I'm not completely opposed to it. I just think it needs to, do your research and see if it's the best thing for you. So in the early days of social media, like I said, you could post your content, nearly all your followers would see it. Today, platforms typically limit your reach unless you pay for boosts or ads. So the good news is that social media ads are relatively expensive. Typically, it's about $7 per 1,000 impressions. So that's number of times the post shows up in a feed. And you can target your boost to groups of Facebook users or followers by location, education level, gender, and other demographics. So something to kind of consider if you need a little bit of help on the social media platform. Okay, so let's go into a little bit about email marketing. Okay, so showing up at the right time. So social media might be big, but believe it or not, it has not replaced email. Not yet. So 46% of consumers believe email is the best channel for company contact, preferring it almost twice as much as any other channel. Think about that, right? How many people, if I think off the top of my head of like certain things, like I always think about, I think it's what, Bed Bath & Beyond, they used to send the 20% off coupons, right? I used to see those coupons all the time, right? To the point that if you were going to purchase something, you would wait until you maybe got that coupon, or you'd look for that coupon like, okay, I know there's got to be a 20% off coupon in my email somewhere, right? So you get like this brand recognition that this is going to come, right? Doesn't mean you're opening it every single time, but you could probably search your email and find it. I mean, that is pretty powerful stuff, right? If you can get to that level with somebody. So that's what I mean about, email still has kind of that more powerful effect than social media currently still at this time. So still very important. All right. So here's some email success strategies. All right. You can send regular newsletters, right? Promotions, announcements, and more via email to hundreds or even thousands of people. So here are a few ways that you can make sure your email delivers results. Focus on the open, right? A compelling subject line is the biggest driver of your open rate. Just be careful you're not putting clickbait out there. Okay. If people think your subject line is a trick, they won't open your emails and might even report your email as spam, and then you're never going to reach them. Okay. Develop a call to action. Really, really important. What do you want your customer to do after they open your email? Right? Make sure you provide a clear, specific call to action so that your email can accomplish your goals. So think about this. Have you ever opened an email, right? and there's a coupon on there. So you click on it, and then they want you to add either your phone number or your email address. Okay. Well, they might already have your email since they sent an email, but maybe they want the phone number for a text, right? It's a call to action, right? And that's their way of obviously getting your information so that they can then drip on you a little bit more with marketing, right? But it's a call to action. It's something to do, right? Whether it's a coupon, come into the store, enter your information, whatever it is. Okay. Personalize your message. So we all know that these emails go out to a lot of people, but when people see their name in the subject line or message, it's human nature to feel a little special. Okay. So you're not trying to send out these mass emails to a million different people and make it impersonal. Make it personal. And the last one is create FOMO. And that is a real thing, right? Fear of missing out. No one wants to miss out on a deal or a bit of fun. So creating that buzz, creating that fear of missing out can be really huge in an email. Okay. So to send emails to a customer list, you need an email marketing system, unless you're going to sit there and do one at a time, which I know nobody has time for that. So here are a few of the most popular options. Okay. And you're going to see in your workbook again on page 20. I don't even think I actually had the chart up here, but on page 20, you're going to be able to go in there and look through. You've got MailChimp, Constant Contact, HubSpot, Campaign Monitor, Active Campaign. Once again, do your research, figure out which one might be best for you and see if it makes sense for your business. Okay. Just another way to kind of streamline some of this stuff, because, I was saying earlier, we used to pay for marketing in the form of, digital print or, put an ad out there somewhere, right? You'd pay for it and you'd kind of forget about it. Well, now, yeah, sure, it might be a cheaper option that we have all this social media and we can do emails and everything, but is it cheaper because the time that it takes to do all these things, right? So we got to make sure that we're being most effective with it. And if there's systems out there that can make it streamline it for you, then you got to kind of take a look at that. Okay. All right. So email lead capture strategies. So pop-ups, right? A quick message that pops up when people visit your site can be very effective. And that's what I meant too. Like, you go to someone's site and boom, that thing pops up that says, enter your email and get 10% off today. Everyone's seen it, right? And we enter it in because we're going to buy something and we want to get that 10%, right? Giveaways. In exchange for something free, people will often trade their email address. Once again, coupon, boom. Social media promotions. Ask your social media followers to sign up for emails. Opt in at purchase, right? Include that box that customers can check to hear about news and future discounts. We've all seen it. Tools or resources. If you have a valuable tool or resource that you're offering for free, ask customers provide contact information to access it. And contests, right? It's a win-win. They get a chance to get a great prize and you have their contact information. You've all done these things, right? But sometimes we just forget to relate it to our own business in ways that we can kind of get information from clients, stay relevant, and get content out there. So just kind of keep those in mind as you're kind of thinking of some of these email captures, okay? All right, so segment and target your audience. I've talked about this in one of my other presentations about how important it is to segment and target your customers, because not all customers are the same, right? You have your repeat customers, you have your occasional customers, you have the customers that you're trying to acquire. And sometimes those all are in different spaces, right? So targeting your messages to specific audiences ensures your recipients will be more likely to pay attention to your emails and allow you to offer exactly what each segment wants. Okay. And it takes some time. And I might even be able to share that last one that has kind of the chart where you can segment the customers, but it really helps you to try to identify and draw a connection with each type of customer that does business with you. Okay. Make it valuable, right? Focus on what your customers want. Otherwise, your message will end up in the trash. Develop a cadence, right? If your customers know that your message comes roughly at the same time each week or month, many will look forward to your email. And that's kind of what I referenced on the Bed Bath & Beyond coupon. Timing is important, right? Messages can get buried in inboxes fast. So try to send your emails when your customers are more likely to be checking them, right? That's really kind of a hard one, right? Because you almost have to kind of test that out and be able to send, a couple different times a day and see where you get the most feedback. Okay. That's more of a test market type of thing that you got to kind of try. Okay. So how else can you market your business online? So Review sites such as Yelp, Angie, and Google My Business, right? They offer a free platform to provide useful information and photos about your business and interact with your customers. Digital ads on popular local or industrial specific websites help you get noticed by the right people. Videos can, both live on a video platform and be reused in many other spaces, offer opportunities for customers to dive deeper into who you are or what your business offers. Texting updates, right? I get too many of those. I need to unsubscribe. Reminders, special offers, and more help you deliver timely information and promotions where people are more likely to see them. And I will say that even though it annoys me that I get so many, there has definitely been times where it's triggered me to remember that I needed to buy something, or, oh yeah, that's somewhere that they could have that product that I've been thinking about in my head, right? So it's that constant dripping, different types of marketing, okay? Delivery apps take monitoring and management to make sure your business shows up the way you want, right? Amazon is the biggest e-commerce platform in the US. A presence there can be helpful, right? And people toss that around a lot if they want to sell their products on Amazon or not. I know it can be kind of a complex situation, but you got to start thinking about where people are and where they're shopping, right? And if it makes sense for your business, it might make sense for somewhere that you need to be, okay? Okay, so this was another one in the chat. So which digital marketing space do you think offers you the biggest opportunity over the next 12 months? So out of everything we talked about, is it email that you do a lot better with? Is it social media platforms? Is it print still? I mean, where do you think is going to give you the most bang for your buck in the next 12 months? In your chat, just curious where people are kind of standing on it. Risk stealing your products on Amazon. Okay. My website. Yeah, and the website, I mean, listen, you can't go wrong with a really good website, right? Social media, obviously, website or LinkedIn. I think email will be something interesting to consider. Okay, yeah. I mean, and that's why we're here, right? To have these conversations, to start making you think about things maybe a little bit differently, right? All really good answers, okay? All right, so let's kind of talk about maximizing your online spaces. All right. So a holistic approach can save time and money while improving results. So you don't want something you put a lot of time and work in to just disappear, right? You can find ways to keep it alive and to amplify all of your content. All right. Search engine optimization. All right, is about making sure your website shows up near the top of search results. Okay. And I know a lot of people have probably talked about this. How do I get, I'm going to create my business name and I'm going to have it start with an A because it'll be at the top, right? Well, that doesn't always have to be the answer, right? Keywords are critical. Okay. Use the words and phrases on your website that your customers use, right? Make sure all of the metadata on your website is filled in, right? Including titles, headers, page descriptions, and alt text for images. Figure out how to get other websites to link to your site. Google considers this a marker of both usefulness and trustworthiness. All right. And create a Google My Business profile so that local customers can find you easily when they search. Many, many, many times people have said, I'm just trying to get good with Google so people can find me. Very, very important. Page 24 in your workbook. It's going to kind of dig into that a little bit more about maximizing your online spaces. I think it's really helpful. You can kind of take a look through that when we're done. Okay. All right. So SEO Jumpstart. So there's another, because we love this workbook. There's so many good activities in here. This is going to kind of help you to write down any words or phrases that describe your product or service. Okay. So it's going to kind of give you an idea of keywords that are kind of building blocks to think about researching, backlinks, improving your site performance. Okay. So definitely go back in and check that out. All right. So automation. All right. So automated messages can help you stay connected with customers without taking a lot of time. So automated messages can go out as emails, text messages, social media messages, and chats on specific platforms. So you'll typically need a CRM system or other database that tracks customer information. So types of automated messages include, welcomes, right? So greet new subscribers or social media followers, right? So an automatic message goes out the minute that somebody subscribes to your page. Reminders, make sure customers don't miss an event or an appointment. right? How many people got a reminder for this event today, right? Those types of things, auto-generated to make sure, yeah, you signed up for it maybe 2 weeks ago, but we know you're busy, right? And the same thing with customers, right? They're busy too, but if you're sending out those little reminders, it's going to keep it top of mind. All right. Drip campaigns, we've said it multiple times. Build interest in your business through multiple messages, right? Using a bunch of different platforms. Request for feedback, right? After a purchase, ask how it went. There's nothing wrong. You buy something on Amazon. How often do you get that? I mean, I have an Alexa and all of a sudden she's asking me, hey, 5 months ago, you bought a product and can you rate it for me, right? So these are all different types of drip campaigns that people use, okay, to request feedback. Recommendations, right? Send customers information about other products they might like. We know that's a thing too. You buy something or you're looking for something. What's the thing that you see right at the bottom? These are some other things that you might like. Right? These and how many times have you actually saw something and you were like, oh yeah, wow, I do like that. And then it triggers you to buy more, right? These are all tactics when it comes to marketing. Celebratory occasions, right? Wish customers a happy birthday. We all sign up for birthday lists. We get a free burger from Red Robin on our birthday or all these different things that are out there, coupons, right? Because we've put our birthday in when we, set up our profile with a certain retail store or whatever, right? All opportunities to reach our customers. Okay. All right. So an effective marketing strategy takes advantage of the opportunity to use marketing content again to reach new audiences in new ways. So let's look at one example of how you can think about content across multiple marketing spaces. All right. So you've started a blog, right? Where else can the content go? All right. So you can link it to your social media, right? You can include an excerpt in an email. You could post the blog as a tweet thread. You can use a lead capture form on the blog site to gain new email followers. And you can post images from the blog post on social media. Okay. So this is where we talk about, all right, I don't have time to be on every single channel. Well, this is one thing that you did, and all you did was share it on multiple sites, right? So you're not having to recreate content on every single site. You're just making sure that you are using one thing that you're doing and making sure that you're capturing on all the sites that you potentially are using. Okay. All right. People tagged me. I love this one. So here's an example of a real entrepreneur who used social media to reconnect with customers and pivot his business toward a new opportunity. So I'm actually going to turn to this because I want to read this to you. I thought this was actually really clever. Okay. So see here. All right. So in March 2020, Greg Tillery, the owner of Weedat's Chicken and Shrimp in New Orleans, shut down to help limit the spread of COVID-19. But he still had a refrigerator full of food. So rather than let it all go to waste, he cooked it all and fed firefighters, trash collectors, and anyone in his community working hard to keep the city running. This sense of community in his Tillery's blood, right? But he has also found it was good for business. People recommended him and they remembered his restaurant. It took months before Tillery reopened. In the meantime, he made seasonings and stocked them in New Orleans grocery stores. It didn't take long before he noticed his restaurant brand popping up on social media. People tag me on Instagram all the time, Tillery recalls. They say the restaurants were closed, but I made my own Woozum wings, right? So Tillery also shared his journey on Facebook. He talked about what it took to reopen and the lessons he learned after a difficult year. His openness only won him more fans, right? So because he had this product that he was able to put out in the seasoning, people were then posting about the food they were making at their own house using his seasoning and tagging him on it. I mean, you can't even, that is just like incredible marketing for him just by kind of thinking outside the box, right? So I just wanted to share that because I find that one to be really cool. So what are some of your ideas for how to market across multiple spaces? And I'm not gonna kind of have you do this one in the chat, but I want you to think about it. Okay. What we've kind of been talking about, think about ways that you can really maximize your message across multiple spaces as you kind of continue to grow your business. Okay. And I think all of these things that we've talked about in the workbook are going to kind of help you to really kind of think about where you're going to be most effective and where you're going to be able to gain the most clientele, and then figure out what's best for you. Don't drive yourself nuts saying, oh my God, I got so much to do. All these platforms I could be using. just keep it simple, right? Make a list, test it out, maybe pick a few platforms, a couple different ways to market, and do that first. And then test it. Does it work? Are you getting clients from it? If not, then maybe you change it up and you try some different avenues, right? Just don't change it too quickly because sometimes it takes some time to get to people. All right. Okay. All right. So analyzing and adjusting. So to make your digital marketing, digital tools offer a wealth of information. So how do you know what's important? Okay. All right. So make your goals SMART. All right. Knowing what information data to track starts with your goals. So check your goals using the SMART system, right? To make sure that you can track your progress effectively. So kind of just what I was talking about, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Okay. And in your book on page 30, it's going to kind of go through all of those in a little bit more detail, right? How you need to focus on your goals to be specific, to be measurable and set goals that you can get data for, right? Achievable, right? Another problem with the make everyone love my brand example is it's not achievable, right? You're not going to win everybody over, right? So it's got to be an achievable goal that you put out there. Stay relevant and time bound. Goals are about measuring progress. A time frame can help you see how far you've come through the process. Okay. So don't, like I said, please go back in and look through that when you have some time. Okay. Okay. So establishing metrics. So which marketing numbers matter? All right. There's a few places to find useful metrics. So there's Google Analytics, there's email analytics, social media analytics. Page 31 in your workbook and 32 is going to kind of go into those a lot more specifically for you as well. So you can kind of dig in and truly understand some of the ins and outs of the analytics process to really understand if it's making sense with what you're doing out there. Okay. All right. So other kinds of marketing data. So online surveys can provide a wealth of information about what your customers really think and feel. A net promoter score is a quick 1 to 10 snapshot of how your customers feel about your business, right? Our ROI calculations can tell you whether your marketing efforts are delivering revenue. All right. So quick question for everybody. How often do you actually review your marketing data? Are you just throwing stuff out there and really not seeing if it's effective? Or is it something that you're looking at daily, weekly, monthly, sometimes, or never? Right. Okay. Thanks, Amber. I appreciate your braveness. Right. So never. Hey, that's okay. Right. But now we can change it. We can change it going forward because if you're spending a lot of time, okay, a few times a year. Yeah. So if you're spending no time or you're spending a lot of time doing a lot of social media or a lot of marketing and don't really know if it's doing anything, doesn't make sense, right? So that's why putting that calendar, really doing a measure on it. Am I getting the ROI on it? That's what's really going to kind of help you to really kind of streamline that marketing effort, if you will. Okay. So I appreciate you guys answering that. All right. So don't ignore your marketing data. All right. That's the key takeaway from this section is do not ignore your marketing data. Okay. Collect data on a regular intervals. All right. The first step in making data analysis a habit is having the data in hand, right? So maintain clean, useful data. Inconsistent or inaccurate data, it's not useful, right? Create a dashboard where you can see all of your metrics in one place. This is a way to see the big picture in all of your data. Regularly share what you're learning, right? When you socialize the information, people can use it to do their jobs better. And you can ask them for insights based on what you've shared, okay? Encourage experimentation. This is learning in action, okay? The basic idea is to create two marketing pieces that are different in one important way. This is A and B testing, okay? If anybody's taken a marketing class or has a marketing degree, you've heard about this, right? If you are putting the same marketing material on every single platform, how do you know where people are seeing it? Think about that, right? So when we just talked about, let's say, you pick 2 or 3 different platforms that you want to use, okay? So if you put, let's say, a 10% coupon out on one, and this is just me thinking out loud, it could be completely different. 10% coupon on one, 15% coupon on another platform, okay? you're obviously going to know which platform that came from based off of which one they bring you, right? Or who's using what. That's going to tell you a lot. But if you're using the same thing, like when we had talked about before, like sharing your content and stuff on all those different sites, like that's fine if you just want to have a blog and make sure that everybody's seeing it. But if you're talking about truly trying to figure out where people are actually seeing your information, then an A/B test is a great way to try to figure that out. Okay. It's a simple but powerful idea. And many marketing technology systems include built-in tools to help you conduct A/B testing. Okay. So if you look in your workbook on page 36 and 37, you don't need expensive software to have your own dashboard. Okay. It's going to encourage you to kind of do a little bit of a dashboard for yourself, right? You can list up the 10 metrics you want to include in your dashboard. And then on the other side, which 3 to 5 metrics should be represented in, let's say, by a graph. Okay. There's different software that you can use to do these kinds of things, but you can, like I said, you can start out just as simple as being able to kind of write it down and keep a better track of it for yourself. Okay. All right. So last but not least is own your digital spaces. All right. Get your business out there and expand your customer base. All right. Now's the time to claim your space online. Okay. Can you see a way to take your marketing to the next level? All right. Because that's what it's all about. It's the redundance. If it's working for you, okay, then like they say, don't fix it if it's not broken, right? But if you're trying to acquire more clients, these are some ways, some creative ways that you can do it. And then you just got to kind of test it out and see what's better for you. All right. So on page 38 and 39 of your workbook, this is kind of your progress report, right? Talks about your branding, maximizing your spaces, digital marketing spaces, analyzing and adjusting. A really, really good tool to kind of have all of your thoughts put down on paper so that you can kind of decide, hey, which direction am I going to go into next? Okay. So the last question is, what's the first thing you're going to do to raise your digital marketing game? So out of everything that we've talked about today, is there one thing that maybe you're not doing that you think, you know what, I need to really start taking a look at that because I think there might be some opportunity for business growth if I take that a little bit more seriously? Anybody want to share in the chat? Website, definitely. 100% couldn't agree with you more. Create a calendar, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Paying attention to marketing data and look into marketing emails. Absolutely. Better email marketing, love it. Love it, love it, love it. All really, really good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to open it up for questions. I think, I don't know if we open up the mics or if you just put it in the chat and I'd be happy to answer anything. Also too, if you could scan that QR code, that's really kind of our, we just do a survey about this topic. And this way we can, provide better content for you if there's other things that you guys want to learn about. So if you have a couple minutes, and then I know Score is going to put theirs up here in a second. I'm actually going to take this down and I'm going to put up oh, what did I do? Okay, here's another QR code too. So we have a community manager that does a lot of education on the personal side. I didn't have her mic open, but she does a survey too, so that we can obviously provide more content if needed. Okay, can you talk about business to business marketing a bit? You know what? I'm actually going to do one better, and I'm going to send over some information. And they will send it out with the workbooks if you don't have it already. That's some really good stuff about business to business marketing, because there's a lot of really, really great ideas in there. But thanks for the question. All right, awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. It's been a pleasure. I hope you had some takeaways from today and, can use some of these tools to, help you really kind of grow your business from a marketing perspective. So yeah, I really appreciate it.
Again, we'll be sending out the recording and also the slides, and we'll send out the workbook again. There are a couple of you who said you didn't get it, so we'll send it out again with the other materials. It should go out tomorrow. And thank you so much, Laura. This has been really enlightening. I think you've covered so much material.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. And I love the workbook. I think everybody should yeah, really pay attention and use it. It'll be very, very helpful in developing your marketing strategy. So if there are no more questions, let me see. Everybody's saying thank you.
Awesome.
So
My pleasure.
um,
And I didn't cough. Woo!
wonderful. So we'll look forward to the next time we have a session with you, because I think it will be very exciting too. Laura has several workbooks, which we are going to schedule sessions for over the next few months. So look forward to seeing her name along with an announcement about our sessions, and make sure you sign up for it. Also go to our website. There are a lot of marketing sessions this month because our theme this month is marketing. So you'll see many different marketing topics. This has been a wonderful one. And I hope that you've all learned something really useful. So thank you again, Laura. Enjoy the rest of your day and your evening.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.